Google. You know, it's not only useless anymore as a search engine, but there's such a large amount of misinformation there. Not, I mean, just outright misinformation that most people know is just bullshit. So I'm having a landscape problem on my phone. So I can play in landscape, I can record in landscape and play back in landscape, but I can't upload to YouTube in landscape. Their recommendations are it's not YouTube, it's your phone. I can watch videos in landscape now on YouTube. I did a hard reset on my phone, but I wanted to make sure I was doing the hard reset on my iPad correctly. So I go to Google, of course, and the very first recommendation was to hit the volume up, the volume down, and then hold the side button. And that is not correct. That was the very first result I got. You can do that all day long, and that is not going to hard reset your iPad. I know that. I mean, Apple knows that. If you've had an iPad for as long as I have, you know how to hard reset your iPad, right? It's the on, off, and the home button. It's not the volume up, volume down, and then the side button because you reset your iPhone that way. So the very first result I got from Google of how to hard reset my iPad was wrong. And I cannot tell you how many times I've been reading something on Google in their information that's wrong. Why is it so useless nowadays? Well, you see, because everyone wants to be a fucking billionaire for some reason. They think it's going to make them happy, and that if they have all the money they need, that it's going to solve every problem in their life. No, money can solve some problems, but it's not going to make you happy. And the side effect of that is plastic on Mount Everest, plastic in your blood, plastic in the air you breathe, plastic in your food. They say that we eat a credit card's worth of plastic every month now. Um, Basically, the world is covered in this shit, and now they want to actually up the amount of plastic they're making. And how do they get away with this? Well, they have something called a bribery agent. Oh, excuse me, a lobbyist that goes around with money and convinces your politicians that they'll be dead when the world goes to shit. Don't worry about it. But if you want to keep your easy, high paying, do nothing, have power job, then you're going to do what we're telling you to fucking do, or we're going to support your opponent. This is why Google's bad. Comes down to human nature. Google is so useless, totally fucking useless now for trying to find any kind of. They used to be called search engines. Remember that? Remember when it was called a search engine, and Google's primary, you know, way of conducting themselves was do no evil. Remember those days? We want to leave these people in charge of artificial intelligence and shit. They're already turning us into products without our permission. How do they do this? Again, bribery agents. Oh, I'm sorry, lobbyists. Let me tell you what the cure is for every single fucking problem on this planet, or in the United States at least right now. This is term limits. I've had a discussion with many people. There is no issue you can point to that I cannot solve with term limits, because it comes down to the most basic feature, okay, of functionality in government or anything else, okay, is the human quality. You see, if someone has a business and they're smart and they have a solution for a problem, they don't want to run for fucking government. If someone wants power and money and prestige, they run for government. Now, there are some people that go in and try, but what they find out is that it's a non-functioning entity. That you can't get anything done without all the criminals to your right and the criminals to your left. You can't get anything done. Term limits, 90% of those people the criminals would never ever be in politics because it wouldn't fit their modus operandi of becoming a billionaire or having power, because you'd only be there for 2 years. And I'm talking about 6 years for the Supreme Court and 2 years for everything else other than president, which would remain 4. Everyone else, 2 years. And now, you think they spend all their time trying to keep their jobs now? Just think what would happen with term limits in 2 years. But this is the thing. You serve 2 years and then you're gone, and you're not allowed to attempt again for 4 cycles. 4. That means if you're a representative, you serve for 2 years, you have to wait 8 years before you can run again. Those people that go off and find something else to do that's crooked, like starting up a fucking male enhancement company or something, you know what I mean? Term limits. Honest people would actually come and serve because it's 2 years. You don't get paid. We give you fucking per diem. We give you a house to live in. And that's it. That's it. You are here to serve the people. And you would have the highest quality, most awesome people coming to government because they would finally feel like, okay, I can serve for 2 years, get the fuck out. I don't have to sell my businesses. I don't have to do any of that, but I can come and try to contribute to my country and my nation's health and welfare, and then get out. Because there are way more smart people than there are crooked politicians. And every single year you would have new people come in with new ideas, honest people, people who couldn't be bought. Why? Because they're only going to be there for 2 years. And my buddy goes, oh, well, then you're just incentivizing criminals to come in. No, because now the person to your right and the person to your left is no longer a criminal. They're there for the same reason you are. And they tell those lobbyists, get the fuck out of my office. I mean, the bribery agents, get out of my office. I'm not here to serve corporate America any longer. You guys are fucked. You're going to start paying your taxes. You're going to clean up all the messes you've made. You see, and that is why we have so many bribery agents, lobbyists in Washington. Term limits. You're not incentivizing people to come in for 2 years and get what they could get. See? Because you couldn't get your criminal fucking bill through that allows plastic companies to pollute, because everyone around you would be there for the same reason, which is to serve their country. But when you tell people they can get elected for 4 and then elected for 4 and then elected for 4, and they could run until they're fucking gray-haired old men telling women what to do with their bodies, okay? That's how you end up with America in a goddamn shithole that it's in right now. Term limits. If you had an employee and you hired them, because I want you to understand something right now. Congressmen, senators, representatives, they are nothing more. I have no awe of these people. Okay? I can tell you right now that I have an IQ quotient higher than 95% of those people. I have no awe of them. They are simply an employee who had to win their job by doing their job interview with the American people instead of a corporate, HR person. If they thought they had to go in and just work their ass off for 2 years and get out and not get anything from it, no corporate bennies, no special job with the fucking oil industry when you get out or anything of this such, America would be in such good shape right now. Term limits. Term limits solves every single problem we have. Pollution, the economy, homelessness, okay? Term limits. Term limits solves every one of those problems because the poison couldn't survive in a clean atmosphere. The criminals couldn't function in a non-criminal Congress and Senate. Okay? Term limits. This is how we fix everything, is term limits. If you had an employee that you hired, and then instead of doing what you hired them to do, they went off and did whatever the fuck they wanted to do, and took bribes from all kinds of companies and corporations that were basically destroying your fucking country, you'd fire those people. But what if you hired an employee that said, fuck you, the very next day, walked into your office and said, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want to do to get mine while I'm here and to get a nice job when I'm done. And you can't fire me now because you hired me. Now you're fucked. You're stuck with me for 4 years. I'm going to fuck you and everyone else around here over for the next 4 years. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And if I can convince the American public to hire me for another 4, I'm going to fuck you for another 4 years. How would you feel as an employer? Because that's what you are. You are the employer of your congressmen, your senators, okay, your representatives. But because you can't fire them or not allow them to come back and get rehired again, they run fucking rampant and do whatever they want. Okay? 80% of government officials are dealing they're under the deck. They're making deals that they know is not beneficial to the majority because it benefits them. And yet countries like fucking Russia, where the entire top to bottom economy is based on who gets what, and each layer has a group of people that tells the next layer who gets what and how much. And that's how everything is kept under control. I mean, look at America if we did that. What if Joe Biden told Jamie Dimon, okay, we're taking over your fucking bank because we need the money. Get the fuck out. And they just took everybody's accounts and now it's a government-run business that's double charging you for checks. And I mean, it just wouldn't work in the United States. It works in Russia. Term limits. Term limits, that's the answer. It will always be the answer. There are a couple of very well done term limit YouTube videos talking about, you guys are employees. We hired you to do a job and now you're off doing your own thing, and screw you guys is basically what you're saying. They're pretty damn compelling. Okay, so term limits would solve every problem in the United States. Every single problem in the United States. Because you wouldn't have self-dealing politicians. It would no longer be a job that incentivized the worst fucking people to run for government. Okay? All right. So I'm trying to figure out why I'm having this landscape problem at YouTube. I did a Google search. Google search. What a fucking joke. Again, first thing I got was wrong today. First fucking answer, wrong. It's like the world is crashing down around our fucking ears, and our politicians and senators, congressmen, representatives, all they're worried about is getting reelected. They could give a shit about doing a job today because they're worried about getting reelected next cycle. I can't do this because I won't get reelected. I can't do this because I won't get reelected. Instead of a politician, right, being a smart genius person, solving a problem by doing what they know they have to do and what is right, okay? No, you get this person who is willing to make a deal with the devil every single time. Wow. You know, it really does hurt. It hurts because there are answers to the solutions, and I know that they won't be used. The answers will never be addressed correctly because the system is designed to put crooked fucking people in power. You know what I mean? The fucking military industrial complex and the fucking, the capitalism itself is designed to put crooked fucking people into government position. And so the only way to solve that again is what? Term limits.